some of your other favorite experiences while you were in Japan? Anything else that you did?
Yeah, the beaches and the water, were absolutely amazing. It was so beautiful over there.
Yeah.
And it's it's such a different environment than the United States. Um, it was just like really uh calm, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Except at the bars where all the service people were, um but
Yeah.
we lived a different nightlife, and the bars never closed over there. So you would be partying and the sun would be coming up.
Oh,
You'd be
wow.
like, "Oh my God, it stayed out all night."
Yeah.
So, but it was everything over there is like concrete because of the typhoons, and it's like
Oh,
really, really well structural made.
yeah.
I lived in a house off base for a little bit, but it was haunted, so I
Oh my
left.
gosh.
Yeah, it was scary. It was so scary. Like my husband at the time was in Iraq, and I had just had my daughter, and I was still off work when he left. Like I was still recovering, and because we were both in the military, and we had been experiencing stuff in the house like before he left,
Ooh.
and when he left, I it really like to me it ramped up. Like it just I don't know what was going on. I was up one night and something ran up the steps. I swore somebody was coming up the steps, and I leaned over the railing, and my daughter was in the bedroom with me, and something took like a rubber mallet and beat on the steps. Like while I'm looking at it, there's nothing there.
Whoa.
And I went into base housing and I said, I need to be removed
From
from this dwelling place as soon as possible.
I cannot live like this.
Yeah, it was so scary because I was staying up all night. Like I ended up pulling a
Yeah.
bassinet like downstairs in this living room. And the house was a very traditional like Japanese house. I don't know if you do you want me to get into this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to like love ghost stories when I was
Oh,
younger, so I find this like very fascinating.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
house was like very traditional Japanese. So you walked in to the front door, there's this giant entranceway with a rock garden, and
Sounds
then
beautiful.
it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And then to the left there was tea rooms. So with the actual doors and the tea room doors with the
Right.
tissue paper over them. And so you opened that and it was like a traditional Japanese tea room where you sat on the floor and stuff. Then that opened up into another tea room. So there's two.
Mm.
And then you you went around to the right, there was like a living area, the kitchen was open, and down from the kitchen there was a hallway. And when I would be cooking, down the hallway there was like at the end of the hallway was a bathroom. And you could see into the bathroom because it didn't have a door. It was just
Mm.
like an open space with the shower and the tub in it.
Mm.
But the bathrooms, the actual where you went to the bathroom were before that. And they had a door, a separate door with a urinal and a toilet. Like this house was huge.
Mm.
And every time I'd be cooking in the kitchen, like I'd look down and I swore I would see something just peep around the corner
Oh.
and like look at me like a shadow person.
Oh man.
And I would hear stuff like talking at night. And I would be like, what is that? Now we live next to like apartments, so I just figured it was like noise coming from over there.
Right.
But like, and thinking back on it, I'm like, I don't think that was what that was. I think it was whatever was in there.
Yeah.
And I was sleeping in my bedroom one night, and this was when my husband at the time was gone too. And the air conditioner froze over. They had those like mini splits. I don't know if you know what those are. They're
The
like
ones that go
they
on the wall.
in the wall, like the
Yeah. Hmm.
Mitsubishi units that go in the
Yep.
wall.
Yeah.
And they had one of those and it froze over, like icicle frozen over. And I woke
Whoa.
up, yeah, and my bed was shaking, like violently shaking.
Whoa.
And I'm like, oh my God, like I grabbed my daughter out of the bassinet and the bed's shaking. Now we had earthquakes there frequently. So I thought
Oh.
That's what it
Right.
was. So I
Right.
I called my shop where I worked and I was like, "Hey, did we just have an earthquake?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "Can you see if they registered anything like on base or anything?" And they didn't.
Huh.
So I was like
How
I
long did
was freaking scared out of my
yeah.
mind there.
That's like hard when you don't have like your husband with you or anybody else
Nobody.
with you.
Yeah, so like I mean, I had my first kid without my mom there. I freaked out.
Yeah.
But so anyways, I went down to base housing eventually because I was staying up all night and I was not able to sleep. And
Yeah,
on
that's
t
not healthy for you
no, on
too.
top of like just having a baby, I gained
Right.
like 100 pounds seriously, like
Yeah.
with my first pregnancy because I was an idiot and I just didn't know. I was like, I ate like crazy. Like I would
Yeah.
eat like whole salads, pizzas, like, but I was constantly hungry. And so anyways, I had to do PT. That I had 6 months to get my butt back in shape to pass my PT test. So I was exhausted. I was making myself sick. So I was like,
Uh
move me out of here.
now.
And yeah, and they did. It was like within a week I was out of there
Oh
and
good.
on base
Yeah.
housing. Yeah, but I will never forget that. Like, do you know Jim Harold's Campfire Stories? Have you ever listened to his podcast?
I don't think I'm familiar.
I was
Yeah.
on I was on his podcast talking about that.
Oh cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
he does paranormal stuff, but
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
yeah.
when my husband and I met because we were best friends in high school and
Hmm.
then we were like best friends for like 10 years and then ended up getting together, but like we always used to get into shenanigans in high school and we were driving down this like haunted road by us. I forget what the oh, Shep's Lane in
Hmm.
Smithtown or something like that. I forget what the name is off the top of my head, but I guess fishermen used to live there and it was kind of rainy and we're driving down this like there's a hill on one side going up and then a hill going down on the other side and we see this guy, a fisherman in like a yellow kind of rain jacket, like those classic like
Yeah.
fishermen that had like the so we're like, that's weird. Where is this guy going? Like, there's nowhere to go over here. And then we turn around and he's gone. Like, there's nowhere that this guy could have gone.
My
And like,
God.
and I have like a bunch of other stories,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, we used to love like totally used to like look more into paranormal stuff when we were younger.
I like it.
Yeah,
I don't like
yeah,
it happening to me,
right,
but
right,
I do
yeah,
like reading about stuff like that.
yeah. It is kind of fun.